Hello everyone! Today we are finally back to another how to build, yes, and judging by the title and everything else you probably know we are building Hammerhead 3, which is a criminally underrated Dutch flipper robot, a very interesting style of flipper in the way that basically half of the entire top of the robot is the flipper. I've really not seen anything like that before. Excuse me. So let's get into showing you what you need to build Hammerhead 3. So first up you're going to need a pen. I hope you can see these things. Pen. Hang on, no, that's the wrong crayon. A blue crayon. A black crayon. A light blue crayon. A yellow crayon. A red crayon. There is a reason you need those extra colours. A pencil might come in handy. A pair of scissors is always helpful. Ruler would help with this. I also recommend, you don't have to, using some of this fantastic shiny silver tape. You might be able to hear a plane in the background. It's brilliant that I live near an airport. But yeah, silver tape, it's quite good. Strengthens things up and also covers up the designs on the underside of your cardboard. Speaking of, here's the cardboard. This is a Goodfellas deep pan baked pizza with cheese on it. Yeah, but this is what we're going to be drawing out all our designs on. Oh, nearly forgot, sellotape. You need that as well. So yeah, you're going to want to draw out the instructions onto here. The instructions, you ask, where are they? Well, they'll be on screen. Okay, so I've drawn out all the patterns onto this card. As you can see, I put sellotape over the top. You can use some of that metallic tape on the back if you want to, or you can use duct tape, that also works, just to add extra strength. As you can see, there's how I've coloured it in. We've got blue on most of the panels, the wheels are black, CO2 bottle in the top, that's why you needed the light blue, the yellow and the red. I've coloured in these bits grey, these bits you can leave. On the flipper side you can leave them blank because they're additional spots on the inside. These bits you do want grey though, because you will be able to see them. Front and back you want blue, the flipper top you want blue with the wheel showing through. The flipper front there, you want the extra bit on there, that's just blue. Yeah, you can see how this works, and it's pretty simple. So yeah, now I'll get around to cutting everything. Okay, so now when you've got all of the pieces for the main chassis cut out, and the flipper of course, unless you're doing them separately, now you need to start the assembly process. So first you're going to take your base panel and take your side panels like that and tape them to the sides, making sure that they are the correct orientation, because if not it's going to go a bit weird. So you want to get yourself some tape, and if you're unlike me, you're not making a video and you're not rushing this, you can do this a bit neater obviously. but then you want to flatten that down. Try not to get wrinkles in it like I've just done. It's best if you get to go all the way along like that, and now you're going to do other side. So put tape on there, making sure it goes all the way down, and sometimes it helps if you change the orientation a bit like that, and there you are, you've got your side panels. You can also put tape on this side for additional strength. This just, I find, reinforces them a bit better, makes them quite strong against certain weapons like crushers and spinners. Then you go on to take your front and back panels. Now, sorry about that, well, the flipper supports came off my table. Now your front and back are different to your flipper front. Ooh, excuse me. The flipper front, it has got an extra bit on there. Make sure you don't use that one for this, you want the ones that are shorter. Take those and stick them to the front and the back of your base panel. So that's one on there, and now you've got to do the other side. Like that. So now all of these should be able to fold up like that. Oh, sorry about that, accidentally knocked the camera. Now these should all be able to fold up so they all meet together like that. So what you've got to do, get yourself tape onto a bit like that, and I've just put that on the wrong way round. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. There we are, fixed it. Look, make sure the grey bits are at the top, the blue bits are the ones you want touching the base. Don't make the mistake I just did. But anyway, you go on to fold up the back and the sides, they meet each other like this. You got to do that on all four corners, which can get a bit tedious, but you've got to do it, or else this is going to be weird. And so there you are, you now have something that looks like this. Yeah, it's a very sort of palindromic, would you say, shape. Anyway, now you need the top panel, which has fallen on my floor. You've got to stick this on. Make sure that the wheels you've drawn on this are at the front. You want to get tape on the front. Make sure you put it on the correct way round, like that. I highly recommend more tape on the back of this, because this can sometimes collapse if you're not careful. If you're going at it with a crusher, it does sometimes fall apart a bit. But then you want to just do all the sides and fold them all up until you've got a solid shape. If that makes any kind of sense. Need an extra bit on there, that didn't quite go over. Try and make sure you get it even as well. Not even, well, in the sense that it stays on the floor, like all four corners are on the ground, not half hovering in the air. That has happened on builds I've done in the past. This is going a bit wonky. You shouldn't have this probably if you're not recording a video at the same time. You're not rushing through this because your camera's stupid and the batteries don't last 5 milliseconds. Right, there. Now we've got this, which on its own could be a robot, but it isn't. There's just the base. We need the... Okay, so to make your flipper you're going to need these bits. So what you're going to do is take your sort of flipper bits that originally were like this, chop them in half, so you've got pieces like those. You're going to just basically stick them back to back, just to give yourself extra support. So yeah, that's what you're going to do. Make sure that the coloured sides are facing outwards and not inwards, or else it won't look as good. So there, now you have something like this. It's double strength, so it should flip your opponents a lot better. And of course you are going to need the other one of these, because you've done 2 of them, and I've just realised that's slightly too big. So when the way around that, I will show you just in case you do have the same problem. You're going to stick it on the longest side. That can just wrap around there. If you got, like I have here, I don't know if you can see where you got bits of the original box showing through. There isn't much of it on this side. I'll just tape that up. Basically just stick it on one or more of the sides, then just chop this bit off with your scissors. Like that, and then that can go over there. There's a bit extra on here as well. Wonderful. And now you just put tape along that bit. Well, that's a bit long. Doesn't matter. That's gone wrinkly. That does matter. Everything's gone wrong. That really does matter. Hang on, I can save this. Take it off. Slowly put it on. Brilliant. There we are. Now you've got your 2 flipper side pieces. Right, so to finish making your flipper, you want to take your flipper front and flipper top. Make sure you get them the right way round. You want the wheels at the front, and you want to take those together. Like that. If you've got any excess on the sides, just wrap it round and you'll be fine. Put some on the back as well. I recommend you also put some metallic tape or duct tape on the back of this, just so you don't see the box. However, I'm lazy, I can't be bothered, so I'm just going to leave it like this. Make sure you fold the edge of the flipper up so when it's on your robot it gives you a bit extra area for flipping. So next up you want to take your flipper side. You can probably see where this is going. Tape on the side of the top. This is getting very confusing. Now you've got to stick that piece on there like that, and some on the back. There we are. Got that at sort of a 90-degree angle, would be nice. And that's going to eventually fold up there, but we'll go do the other one first. Of course, it works the exact same way, just mirrored in it. So there we are. Is this recording? Yes it is. Thank goodness it's doing it. There we are. Oh, that's a bit rough. Let's use some more tape to hold it over. Doesn't matter. I've got loads. And now you've got something that looks like a plane, I suppose. I want to fold these inwards, and I've just realised that's hanging off there. Very good. And then you want some tape on there and tape it down to the front. Now make sure when you're taping this, the edge of the flipper is going underneath the top and front. You'll see why in a minute. It is mildly important, and of course you want to do the other side the exact same way. Now you've got your flipper. So now you're nearly there. You just want to attach the flipper to the main body, and there's an easy way you do that. Get yourself some tape. You want to do it on this, not the flipper, on the chassis. On the back of it, you want to put just a few pieces of tape going along it, sticking up in the air like that, and one in the middle there. So now you've got little flickery pieces of tape, and that's popped out a little bit. Now your flipper, you've got to go on, get it as central as you can, so you can see it is a little bit wider than the robot. That's just to make sure it actually fits. If you wanted to go like down to the millimeters, you probably could get a bit closer, but I can't be bothered to do that. And that's why we stuck these on the inside and not on the outside, just to get it a bit narrower. But you want to get that about as perfect as you can get it. That should do, like that. You want to open it up, and you can put some on the inside if you really want to. However, I find that sometimes makes it so the flipper doesn't close properly. But what you do want to do, get a long piece and just put it along the top, just to make sure that flipper doesn't bend out of place. And you go on to do the same on the chassis here. Like that. And now you're very, very nearly done. In fact, there's not much else to do. You've got your flipper. But what we want to do is put a flip limiter in here, just so it doesn't flip itself, and then it goes like that, and then it's done for. Well, I suppose it could still drive because the wheels are in this bit. That's not the point now. What you want to do, and this is a bit tricky, get your tape. Get a fairly long piece like this, about 8 centimeters. Fold the tape in half so that the sticky part's covered, and you've just got like a long strip of clearish plastic. You want another one of those. So you can't do the same thing again. This one's slightly shorter, but it doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter, right? Really. Open up your flipper again. That's got a bit wonky. And you want to stick these. Put a piece of tape over the edge like this. You still got some around all those surrounding sides. And stick it. It's difficult to do this way round. Sort of there, like that. So it's flopping out the top. And you want to do this on the other side. Like that. So now it looks like it's got the crazy antenna. But then you want to take your flipper sort of top bit, and this is where it gets a bit tricky. You want to stick these two. I'm going to do this off camera because it's really hard to show. Stick these sort of on this bit just below the very tip. Where it's folding now, you want the ends, the very tips of these bits to be sort of touching that end there. I'll do that now, and then I'll show you the finish. Okay, so when you've done that, you will have finished Hammerhead 3. As you can see, it doesn't look the most exciting, but the weapon, I feel, is quite an interesting one, in the sense that it's like, you know, half the chassis goes up. You can see there how I've done those flipper supports. They stick to the top and the bottom, just to make sure your flipper doesn't go all the way over. It is a pretty decent flipper. If we get in a test subject here, ignore that, I've mostly used the chassis on that flip. Yeah, it's quite good. That nearly hit the camera. Yeah, it is a good flipper. Of course, if you're upside down, it can self-right. Let's test it on pullback actually. I don't have a disc constructor, so I can't do it like the video. But yeah, it flips Panic Attack quite well. So yeah, that's not disc constructor, what am I on about? Hammerhead 3. A Dutch flipper that most people don't know about. Yeah, that's that.